joys and beyonds, okay? And you might have heard of Rika Zimmerman, Dr. Dave here, Gary Douglas. Gary Douglas founded Access Consciousness about 24 years ago, but it wasn't until Rika Zimmerman and Dr. Dave here came in about 10, 12 years ago that it really started to take off. And we are now in 140 countries. There's over 1,000 facilitators in the United States alone, and we just keep growing and growing. Why? It works. It's simple, it's easy, and we're helping to raise the consciousness of the world and getting people to live a life of joy and happiness. Our motto or our mantra is, all life comes to me with ease, joy, and glory. Try saying that 10 times in the morning when you get up, 10 times at night when you go to bed, and you're going to begin to see some changes going on. I've put, I've typed it up and put it on my mirror in my bathroom so I see it every day. Every now and then you have to change the notice because when you brush your teeth, the spit hits, okay? But it's a great place to put the note as a reminder. The bars, which I talked about, and I invite everybody to come have their bars run. I'll be here again tomorrow. The second thing I want to talk about is being conscious of your psychic abilities. I mean, are you aware that 98 to 99% of all the thoughts, feelings, and ideas that run through you don't belong to you? We are radio receivers, and we're phenomenal receivers, okay, picking up the thoughts, the feelings, the ideas of other people around us. So a great tool to use, and I gave you this so that you have tools to go home and play with, is to use it. Now, here's what I want to ask you. Do you ever have a day where you were in a really good mood? Things, you're just tooling along and you're happy as a lark, and all of a sudden, bam, you got hit with a bad mood. You know, you just, the craps came over you, okay? Perfect time to ask the question, who does this belong to? Because we're picking up everybody else's thoughts and feelings and emotions. Who does this belong to? If you feel light when you ask that question, which is another tool I'll talk about in a moment. No, let me do that first. The truth always makes you feel light. A lie will make you feel heavy. The lightness is when you open up and you expand, okay? The heaviness is when you contract and go, ah, okay? So, when you ask the question, who does this belong to? If you feel light, it's not mine. It's the guy riding in the car next to me, or it's the neighbor next door. Send it back to him 1,000-fold. You got enough of your own crap. You don't need to take on anybody else's, okay? If it makes you feel heavy when you ask that question, you've got some homework to do, okay? But what's cool is there's processes with Access that you can clear it out like that. Anybody have any questions? Or I'm talking fast because I'm trying to cover a lot. But does anybody have any questions? Is everybody following what I'm saying? Okay.
Could you put a little more exuberance in your speaking, please?
Yeah. Sure, I can do that. You found your edge. How did it get any better than that? I mean, I am fired up about this because it is such a quick, easy way to facilitate change, okay? And where the real excitement comes in is when I see the change occur in other people. Without drama, without pain, without suffering. Oh yeah, a few sniffles, but 5 minutes of sniffling versus 5 lifetimes or 5 years. Okay, I'll take the 5 minutes. Okay. Third thing I want to share with you is living in the question. That's a biggie. Okay. 2 great questions to ask is, what else is possible? Okay. And how's it get any better than this? The reason why we want to live in the question is that when we ask a question, we open up and expand ourselves, and we allow the universe to bring us awarenesses. When we come from conclusions, decisions, computations, controlling personalities like I have, okay, where we think we know it all, we think we know, how life really works, we put ourselves in the box. And when we put ourselves in this small little confined box, there's no way the universe can talk to us, okay? By living in the question, how's it get any better than this? What else is possible? Okay, universe, what's going on here that I'm not seeing? We are inviting inviting the universe in. And the universe is actually saying, finally! You're finally asking for my help. I've been waiting eons for this. But now that you asked, let me show you some new possibilities. And by staying in that question, staying in awareness, okay, you'll wake up in the morning or you'll be doing something through the day, and you get this idea. Call this person, or do this, or take this different path home, okay? All you have to do is trust. Trust the messages coming in, okay? And a whole new world will be revealed to you. So, where am I? Staying out of judgment. How many people here judge themselves? Oh, don't get your hands up too high too quick. They're laughing because we know, huh? Judgment is such a sticky, icky thing. And, actually, judgment is a twofold issue. We carry around positive judgments as well as negative judgments, okay? The positive judgments, okay, because there's clarity there between them, we align and agree. So, we get to have lunch or dinner with a friend, okay? And good friends, and we're talking and we agree on a lot of stuff, so everything's fine, okay? There's judgments going on because we have similar belief systems, okay? Then we go to the workplace and there's somebody else that I don't really get along with them that well, but I have to work with them, okay? And that's where we contract, okay? And, we react and we resist to someone, okay? Now, it's easy to get rid of the judgments where we react and resist because we contract and we hate that feeling, okay? So we want to get rid of that icky feeling, so it's like, what do I have to do to get rid of it? Much harder to get rid of the ones where we agree and align with, because I have identified myself so much with this belief system that I don't want to give it up. But both of them are traps in this reality. Okay, we can achieve the same thing by having an interesting point of view. And the way to get out of judgment is start playing around with that phrase. Interesting point of view. I have this point of view, Sharon. Interesting point of view. I have this point of view. Because it's reminding you that you're in judgment. And the way out of the trap here of this third dimensional reality is to get out of judgment. Tall order, but we can do it. We can do it, and we can do it when we work together with each other, reminding each other. Okay? Any questions so far, or? You guys are great. You're great.
I do have a question.
Sure.
On 4, where you got interesting point of view, I have this point of view. Now, does that mean that's what we should be saying, so we're out of judgment, or?
To start getting you out of judgment. Interesting point of view, I have this point of view.
Okay.
Okay, so my sister calls, and I'm climbing the walls because it's the same old drama that's gone on for 50 years. It's like, ah! Okay? I hang up the phone and say, an interesting point of view, I have this point of view. Interesting point of view, I have this point of view. What that will do is it will help to bring up awarenesses of new ways of looking at it so I don't get into that contracted state. Okay? And it works. And my sister has no idea how I've changed. She has no idea about the shift she knows the shift has occurred, but she has no idea how it occurred.
And she doesn't want it either, though, does she?
She doesn't want what? She doesn't want
She
the
doesn't want
contraction between us.
Yeah.
She
Okay?
doesn't want the awareness.
Oh, yes.
Nobody in my family wanted either. So I'm not sure where I came from out of my family. Okay? So, okay. So we talked about getting out of judgment, staying out of judgment. And another biggie is getting out of the judgment of ourselves. We spend so much time beating ourselves up, belittling ourselves, making ourselves small, okay? Would an infinite being do that to themselves? Would an infinite being contract? Does an infinite being sit there with a list of all the things that we're not worthy of? And, the more we stay in judgment of self, the more we deny ourselves the gift of receiving a greater responsibility. Okay? No, I can't you're denying yourself the power of who you really is, okay? And you're denying showing and shining the light on yourself. Imagine what this world would be like if we all opened up and shared our gifts and our talents just for the sake of thing. You know how fast the change is going on down here on the earth? And it all starts with me, with you, with you, with you, okay? How many of you live in this? Think of the whole new world we would create if we can get into that out of judgment of ourselves, get into accepting ourselves, living in the question, okay? It's phenomenal stuff. And you guys forgive me for understanding why I'm saying yes about this, okay? Which leads to our next point, acknowledging the gift and contribution you are. Acknowledge the contribution you are? And what is your contribution? Okay. Don't do this to me. Don't do this to me. Okay, should I let her off the hook first? Okay, that's a perfect case of finding your contribution, okay? And that's what we need to say. And we all do it. We all do it in different things in our life. What's your contribution? Cool. And the world needs us out there shining a light, okay? Shining and sharing, okay? If we're willing to do that, the universe will bring us everything that we need. So, choice is your trump card. Hey, you learn to live in 10-second increments. Anything that's not working for you, the next 10 seconds you say, next! Try something new. You just say, well, that certainly didn't work. Next, okay, universe, what else can I try? Okay? And by learning to live in 10-second increments, it also keeps us out of judgment. We don't have enough time to get up here to get into our judgments, okay? It's just like learning to stay in a space of awareness, staying in the moment, okay? Saying, okay, I think I'll do this now. I think I'll do this now. Oh, I think I'll do this now, okay? Oh, I really like the last 10 seconds, so I'm gonna do more of this, okay? And the silly thing is, I mean, I don't know how it works, but the more you learn to live in that space, the more you get done. I was such a good control freak that I always had my to-do list, okay? And I dated my to-do list, okay? I numbered my to-do list. I crossed off my to-do list, okay? And when I lost where I was in the day because of fear, trauma, drama, I'd go back to my to-do list saying, oh, okay, that's where I was. Well, guess what? I don't really have a to-do list anymore. And I'm actually getting more done, okay, on a busy day like yesterday. Yes, I did a to-do list because I had so many things to do to get ready for today, okay? And I methodically crossed it off, okay? But I was giggling about it, and I can guarantee you I won't have one tomorrow. No to-do list tomorrow, so, this is your trump card. And finally, I can't believe I'm doing this, Paul.
You're on time.
The final question is I wanted to ask you, whose life are you living? Whose life are you living? Okay? When I asked you that, most of us, okay, are living our life from the past, whether it be this life, another life. We're living our life according to what our mother taught us, what our fathers taught us, what the school system taught us, what society has taught us, okay? Churches, thank you, okay? How much joy do you think is taken from our life by living life according to what somebody else told us? Big, she went, whoa! stop and start making new choices, asking new questions for what's gonna work for me? What's gonna be right for me? What's gonna bring me joy? What's gonna bring me fun? Okay, this is my life, I get to create it. We create our lives. We create it every single day. We can either create junk, or we can create a life of joy. The choice is ours. And in that regard, we're just like our Creator. So, whose life are you living? And more importantly, whose life do you want to start living? Thank you so much for being here. Anybody have any questions?
What do you do? Do you sell a book? What do you do?
I run bars, okay?
What does that mean?
I run bars, okay. Bars, as I said earlier, there's 32 points on the skull, okay? And as I position my fingers in those points, I'm literally going in and clearing out thoughts, emotions, ideas, okay, that keep us stuck. And we're talking not only about this lifetime, we're talking about prior lifetimes, okay? I also do access consciousness facilitating, processing work, where we can go into more detail about specifically what you're trying to clear out. What's great is combine the processing along with the running of the bars, because running the bars is like, processing goes in sort of like the dynamite, it breaks the energy up, okay? And everything's about following the energy with access consciousness. You follow the energy until you locate where the heaviness is, you find the clearing that works for that, clear it out, and when the lightness comes, that's when you go in and you do the bars, okay? And the bars is like the vacuum cleaner that gets the residual out so it doesn't come back, okay? I'm also in the process of being certified to teach classes, so my next step is I will be teaching bars classes so that people can learn how to do bars. Looking, and Paul's gonna be working with me, we wanna set up gifting and receiving classes about once a week, so that we'll be teaching people to run bars, and what we're trying to do is get people to come in as a group to run bars with the gifting and receiving. If you have taken the bars class and you're qualified to run bars, it'll cost you $10 to have your bars run, and it's very good to have your bars run weekly if you're doing a lot of processing. Somebody who's never been introduced to bars, and you can bring them as a facilitator, and their bars will be run for $60. Right now, my fees are $100 to $150, depending upon whether I'm doing processing or I'm just running the bars, okay? And then my next step is I'm 3 courses away from being certified to teach advanced courses, where we really get into some of the deeper stuff to clear stuff out. And it's really all about learning how to love life, have fun, find the joy. I mean, 50 years of my life has been crappy, without joy, without laughter. I mean, artificial stuff. But I want the stuff that, I mean, I'm waking up in the morning with a smile on my face, okay? And the old programs aren't running through my brain, and I attribute that to the bars and the processing I'm doing. So that's what I do.
So how many people who have heard you say you run bars and they think you're a loose woman?
I'm a loose woman? Thank God there's not that many men in the room. I am a crazy woman. Okay. Oh, okay, I just got that.
You're running bars. Yeah, I think you're a loose woman.
We're on bars, yeah. Well, you'll find that access uses a lot of wacky terms, okay? But that sort of brings the joy and the chuckles and the shits and the grins into the picture. So no, I don't physically run bars. I zap people.